beyond my wildest dreams. Every single one of them, mastermind, like perfect. That is her first re-record, else that she could have done better. I would add me. Bow in there of colors when I to record that part or to like do it. So put their hands on I choose to listen to like every day. Hi, it's Erica here. I am back, and if you are already a subscriber, thanks for coming back, and if you're new, I'm happy you're here. This video is going to be all about my ideal set list for the Eras Tour. So
when you hear these songs out in the world, my goal is that you're going to be thinking about tonight.
So I went to the Eras Tour on August 9th, closing night, and it was beyond my wildest dreams. I've already watched the whole thing on live stream, so I knew it was going to happen, and it was amazing, even better than watching on the screen. So today I made this little list. This is what I would put on my ideal set. So obviously I'm a huge Swiftie. I think Taylor Swift did a great job doing this set list for the tour. The 44 songs, is so good. I love every single one of them. But there are a few changes I would make, and this does not mean I don't love any songs less. Maybe it just means what I think would fit better with the set list. And I love the show nonetheless, but this is what I would have chosen if I had to pick. So starting out in the Lover era, well, first off, I think that of how she did the eras, the 10 different eras, but then she cut out debut, I think that was like mastermind, like perfect. I like in my mind before the Eras Tour, I assumed it was gonna be like either starting at the ones like the Stolen, so it was gonna be like starting with Lover and then Lover, Folklore, Evermore, Midnights, and then go the other way. Or I was thinking she was just gonna start at the beginning, so do debut, Fearless, Speak Now, Red, all the way up. Or from like maybe she was gonna start with Fearless because it is her first re-recording, and I really didn't know. So it was so exciting seeing the first night in Arizona what she decided to do. That night was wild, and since then she's made a couple little set list changes. Invisible String to the one, she did Nothing New with Phoebe Bridgers, which I love that song, and then she did No Body No Crime with Haim, and that is so fun too to see her perform with them since they are such good friends. I love that it was so good too. I got that song in my concert and it was amazing. So here we go, let's get into it. So Lover was the first era of the show, and she opened up with Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. If it were me, I would have also opened up with that because I think it's amazing that like it's been a long time coming. The intro is immaculate. There's like nothing else that she could have done better than that because it's been a long time coming, and then it goes through all the different albums. Like that is genius. She's a mastermind, like crazy. And so she started with that, and then she came on and it was like, it's you and me, that's my whole world, they whisper in the hallway, she's a bad, bad girl. Just sang a little part of that song, which I loved because I think the whole song, like I don't think it would have been as good of an intro. I think it's good that she just did part of it. And then Cruel Summer, I would have done that second. That is obviously my favorite song, one of my top 10 Taylor Swift songs. So I was so excited. Also, the bridge of that song is wonderful, and singing that live with 70,000 other Swifties was maybe the highlight of my entire life.
Who knows the lyrics to this bridge?
It was incredible, and so I definitely would just keep that the same. And then next I would change it up and I would add Me. I think that song is so overhated. Like I think it's not a song that should be hated. I think it's incredible. You'll never find another like Me. I think it's such a fun song. I don't understand why everyone hates it so much and then it didn't make the set list. I think it would have been great being after Cruel Summer, in my opinion. And then next I would do You Need to Calm Down. That song, like it was not one of my favorite songs when it just came out. There were other songs on the album I liked better, but at the Eras Tour, when I looked around at that part, it was a rainbow in there of colors, and like I've never seen anything like it before. It was amazing. And then she's like, let me see your hands, and everyone started putting, like, it was amazing. I loved You Need to Calm Down at the Eras Tour, and how she did part of it too. I think that was so good. And then the speech before Lover, I think that was amazing. She's like, my goal is for you when you hear these songs in the real world to remember the moments that you had tonight and all the memories, and I definitely will. And she achieved that goal there because every time I hear these songs now, like I remember seeing them at the Eras Tour with her, and it was incredible knowing that like I've heard 44 songs of Taylor Swift's live. It's amazing. And okay, the next I would do Lover because that song is so nice. And then how she did the pink guitar, some nights the blue guitar. That was so fun. I loved the outfit. It was all immaculate. And then the Archer. That song has such a good like bridge at the end. They see right through me. They see that. It's so good. So I love that song. It was super fun. I thought that was great. And then the Man, I like that too, with a big black and white house, and then she was wearing the man jacket and was up there. That was such a good stage production. I definitely would have kept that on the set list. I don't know if I would have like put in the same spot though. Maybe I would have done it after the Archer. So then it would have been the Man and then switched to Fearless. Okay, so now we go to the Fearless era. So with Fearless, I love Fearless. Like that's one of my favorite albums. There are like so many, like I think that's one of the albums that I don't listen to like every song all the time, but there are some songs I listen to constantly. Fearless, You Belong With Me, The Way I Loved You, 15, those are like my favorite songs of the album. So I would have started with Fearless. I think how she came running out with the guitar was like a highlight of the night. She came running out and the Fearless music started playing. That was incredible. So I loved, and like I don't know how it gets better than this. And then the hand hearts at the end, my heart. I looked around, like I wasn't sure if I wanted to record that part or to like do it. So I decided that I didn't want to record it. I figured I could see it, like I've seen it on live before. So I thought I should just do it with myself. Like everyone put their hands up. Like it was amazing. I have no words for that. So Fearless, definitely keep it on the set list. And then You Belong With Me. That is my number one Taylor Swift song. Like when I knew that I was gonna see this song live, like I was freaking out because I love this song. And high school kind of sucked for me. So You Belong With Me and go back to high school with her, it was a full new experience. It was so good. And singing that live is magical. My life will never be the same without that. It was amazing. And then The Way I Loved You, I would add that next because I think the Fearless era, like with You Have Lover right before, has lots of songs in it. And then the Fearless era is like half of it. I think that she could have done way more songs in this era. There are so many good ones. I would have done The Way I Loved You. I am shocked, like mind blown, that she did not do this throughout the tour. Like it's not even a vault song. So I thought that it would have been a surprise song many different nights, and then it wasn't. So it's just kind of shocking. I feel like she should have done that before, like especially after we're doing, like listening to that song, after watching In the Summer and Her Pretty, hits different. It's so good. So I would have done that then. That would have been amazing at the Eras Tour. Just in the set list every night. We wouldn't have had to like wait for the surprise song. We could just heard it, which I would have loved. And then 15. I feel like the reason she didn't do this song was because like she's not 15 now. And I feel like that song is harder to relate to. However, I think if you don't like think about the age, like when you're 15, like it doesn't need, like me when I'm 19, I could feel this way too. And I think that song's so relatable. 15, when she did that on the piano for the surprise songs, I was on the floor. It was so good. And then she added it, but it's all right. It was amazing. I loved it. And then Love Story. Obviously that song needs to go on the set list. There's no way to like take it off. That song just needs to be there. It's Love Story. It's like one of her first like most like popular songs. So I love that too. And then we switched to Evermore. So Evermore. I love that album. I also love the era at the Eras Tour. It was so good. Like all the songs that she did were incredible, but I think there are some ones that could have made it like maybe not better, but like could have just changed up a little bit. Some of my favorite songs from the album. So I like No Body No Crime. Like that was really good. But if it would have been me, I would have just started with Willow instead of doing the whole like then the blackout scene and then put the cape on. Like I think it would have been better if she came out with that and then just did Willow because that song is so good. And with the trees, it was like I'm in a forest. Like that era. The whole era was incredible at the Eras Tour. Every minute of it. I loved it. And then I would do one of my favorite songs from Evermore, which I feel like is kind of not appreciated enough, is Gold Rush. I love that song. It's so good. I would have done Gold Rush after that. When she did that for the surprise song, I was blown. It was so good. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I think it maybe would have been better if it wouldn't have been acoustic for the surprise song, but I would have added to the set list, and I think it would have been so good. And then Coney Island. I think when that was a surprise song too, that was so good, and I think she should have just played every night. Like it's a well-deserved song to deserve the spotlight. And then I would have done Marjorie because obviously that song is so special to her, and I feel like it made a whole new dynamic here because when I looked around, like it was lights everywhere. And it was like, I feel like there's not another moment like that during the tour of where it's like a sad song, everyone puts their lights up. Like, that was beautiful. And then, obviously, my favorite song for Evermore, Champagne Problems. I love that song. It is so good. And at the Eras Tour, it blew me away. So first off, she has the grassy piano. Okay. That just starts out the whole era being amazing. And then she plays Champagne Problems. So good. I was literally in tears the whole song. It was so good. I loved it. And the cheering at the end. So for my crowd, we cheer for 10 minutes after.
I'm never gonna forget that you just did that.
And you better believe that I cheered for all 10 minutes. By the end of the show, I walked out and was like voice gone. I screamed for 10 minutes of that. And everyone else did too. It was like nothing I've seen. And she was like, "What are you guys doing? Like, stop." And then we kept screaming and kept going. And it was last night, and I feel like she appreciated that, so I'm glad.
That was crazy.
And Champagne Problems deserved it. So the 10 minute standing ovation. Okay, then Reputation. So Rep is not my favorite album, and it's not like in my top 5. It's probably my bottom 5 albums, but I do love it anyways. And that at the Eras Tour was one of my favorite albums. Like, it was so good. I would have died to go to the Reputation Stadium tour. I wish I was that big of a fan to go back then, because I would have loved it. It was so good. Like, when she came out ready for it, and with the snake, like, leotard, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a great era. It was just high energy. The whole place was so excited, and I just loved it. So first she did Ready For It. I would have kept that on, because Are You Ready For It? It's like the opening of the era, and that song is on it, so it makes complete sense. And then I would have added I Did Something Bad, because I think that song, like, it would have fit in the era perfectly. Like, there's other songs in it that are, like, slower that probably wouldn't have fit as much, like New Year's Day. But I Did Something Bad would totally fit the vibe of Ready For It, Look What You Made Me Do, Don't Blame Me, like that vibe. I think that would have been great. And then Delicate, the 1, 2, 3 LGV, that's so good. I scream is so loud, and it's such like every night I yelled on live, so I knew when it was gonna come, which is probably good. If I wouldn't have seen, I would have just been at the tour like everyone would have yelled, I would have missed it. So that's a good part to see spoilers, I guess. And then I would have added my favorite song, Reputation, Getaway Car. I think Getaway Car did not deserve to just be a one night surprise song. It deserved to be on the set list every single night, like Cruel Summer. I think those two are both incredible. Getaway Car is like my top 10 Taylor Swift songs, so I think that would have been so good. It, like, maybe it wouldn't have fit as good. I still think it should have deserved to be on there every night, though. And then Look What You Made Me Do. I would have cut out Don't Blame Me. Like, I really like that song, but I think Getaway Car would have been better. Maybe I just biased, though. And then Look What You Made Me Do. I think that was so good. Like, and then when she went up, like, she made the best stage display for that. When she went up and was like touching on the glass of all the people, and they were all dressed like the different eras, like, hello, that was so good. And then it kept switching the screens. Like, that was an incredible part of the show. Like, I have so many good pictures from that, and Look What You Made Me Do would definitely need to stay on the set list. Okay, now my favorite album, Speaking Now. So for Speak Now, she just did Enchanted the whole tour, and then Speak Now came out, and in Kansas City she had Long Live. So that night I was watching on live stream, I saw Long Live. I was like, no, she's doing Long Live without me. I really thought that would be like a final night surprise song, because like Long Live all the memories we made, and then she added to the set list, and my whole heart blew. I was so excited. So if I were doing the Speak Now era, Speak Now is such a good album. It doesn't just deserve 2 songs or 1 song. It deserves like 5, as many as some of the other albums. So I would have done Enchanted first, because when she walks out in the dress through like the entry and it goes up and everyone sees what dress she's wearing, that part's amazing. And then obviously This Night is sparkling. It's such a good, that song, goes perfect at the Eras Tour, and it's one of my favorites too. And then I would have done Sparks Fly. Sparks Fly, like when she did that after she announced Speak Now, I was like, it's so good. Drop everything now. I think she should have totally done that song. It would have matched the era, and Speak Now deserves more than 1 or 2 songs. I think Sparks Fly would have been great. And then I would have done The Story of Us. I love that song. I think like it would have fit the Enchanted Long Live vibes instead of just like 2 songs. I think those 2 would have done great. Sparks Fly and Story of Us. I think it would have been complete. And then obviously Long Live. I think that does great. So then she brought the koi fish guitar on stage, and that part is so good. Like, so I feel like TikTok noise reducer turns off that part like of the crowd. So every night when I watched Long Live on live, I could just hear her, and I was like, oh, it's kind of a quiet song. Maybe people don't like it that much, which is so crazy to me because my second favorite song. And then I was there, and it was not like that at all. It was crazy. The whole crowd is crazy, and I got to see my first favorite Taylor Swift song, "You Belong With Me," and my second, "Long Live." It was the best night of my life. Okay, and then the Red era. So Red is not my favorite album. Like, it is in my top 5. They switch all the time, though. But I love Red. But the Eras Tour, I think Red had the best era. So, first off, she had 22. That was so good. When she came out, okay, that outfit was so different because it wasn't, like, fancy. It was just the hat and the little shorts and the shirt. It was so good. I totally would have kept that. And then, We Were Never Ever Getting Back Together. I love that song, too. That, like, ever, like, we're never getting back together. That song, it just speaks for itself. That needs to be on the set list. 22 also does. Like, those two need to be there. And then I Knew You Were Trouble. I would have cut that song out and instead put Red. Loving You Was Red. Because that song is so good. I think that's, like, the album. Like, I think there should have been every song, like, because Lover was on there, Fearless. Like, the name of each album, the song should be on there. And I think Red should have made the set list because that song is so good. And I love that song. And then, obviously, the best song, probably maybe of the whole Eras Tour. All Too Well, 10-minute version. That song is, so first she does the speech before it, which she didn't do at our show because she did it at the surprise song time because of 1989. And I was thrown. I was like, well, where's the speech? Like, where are you going to talk about what, like, owning your albums means to you? So then she did that, so it was fine. But All Too Well with the big red dress, it's beautiful. And then her maroon guitar. And then we get to sing the bridge of All Too Well with all the people. Like, it was amazing. The whole 70,000 stadium seemed like they knew all 10 minutes. So it was so fun to sing that song. And All Too Well is a top tier song in any ranking I will ever do. I love that song. It's like top 3. So that song was definitely like amazing. Then we go to the Folklore era. And the Folklore era, she did lots of songs. Like, I think that might have been one of the longest eras at the tour. So the one was so good. How all of a sudden I looked up, she was on top of the mountain. It was amazing. Like, on top of, not the mountain, what am I talking about? On top of Betty's garden. It was so good. So the one, I would definitely keep that there. And then Betty, give me a break. It was so good. Like, If I Showed Up at Your Party, with her beautiful guitar, the nice long folklore dresses. It was so nice. And then Mirror Ball, I would have added that on because I love Mirror Ball. And I feel like that's a main Taylor Swift thing. Just like the cardigan, it's Mirror Balls. Like, everyone knows. Like, I even have one of my room right there. And I love Mirror Balls because of Taylor Swift. So I should think that she should have added that song in there. That's so good. And then August. I love August. And you gotta put the 3 triangle in there. So those 3... Betty, August, and Cardigan went together so well. That was good. Top tier. And then Illicit Affairs, of how she only did the last part of the song. It was so good. Don't call me kid, don't call me baby. And she redid it. She repeated it twice. So, like, it's not just like the studio version. I loved it. That she needs to do that. And then Cardigan. Obviously, that one needs to be on there. We are obsessed with cardigans. And then put the cardigan on Zell, Taylor, if you're watching. I need one. And so Cardigan was so good, and that is the Folklore era. Okay, now we are in the 1989 era, which this is my second favorite Taylor Swift album. I love this album. I think she did incredible songs. This was one of my other favorite albums, so partially because it was right before the surprise song, so at my concert I was like, surprise songs are next. And Style is not like one of my favorite songs I choose to listen to like every day. But when I heard it at the Eras Tour, it was like one of the most dance-worthy songs there. It was so fun. Like, that's gotta be one of my top 10 at the Eras Tour. That was super fun to watch. And then, so I would do Style first. I think that was a great opening. My show, when she came out wearing all blue, I about died. It was the most amazing thing ever. At that point, I was like, 1990 is being announced tonight. And then there it was. I'm very excited. And then next, I would do Blank Space. I love that song, always have since 1989 came out. it's been like one of my top ones on there. And then I would have done Wildest Dreams next. I think Wildest Dreams deserved a whole song, not just half of it, like Bad Blood and how she just did like the chorus and the bridge. I think it should have been the full song, so I would have added that on there, the whole song. And then I would have done Shake It Off after. And then yeah, I think Shake It Off was so fun to dance to too. Like that was a popular one. I feel like everyone knew that song. Even if you're not like a big Swiftie, you should probably know all the words to that song, so I feel like lots of people did. And then I would have added Out of the Woods. Instead of Bad Blood, I've done the whole Out of the Woods because I think it would have ended perfectly. Like it's like, are we in the clear yet? And then it would have ended and went to surprise songs. I think Out of the Woods is such a fun song, and we all want to scream that bridge. Like we all deserve to do that sometime in our lifetime because that's amazing. So I think Out of the Woods definitely should be added on that. And then here's 2 surprise songs. So my top 2 surprise songs of what I would have done is on guitar, I would have done Would've, Could've, Should've, because that was iconic in the Nashville Rain night 3. I watched that. I was in my bed. It was like 10. I don't know. It was like late at night and everyone else was asleep in the house, and I had it here on my phone on live stream. I was watching, and then I heard Would've, Could've, Should've in the Rain. I was like I was shook. I love that song, and I have such good memories like of that. So I would have done that for my number 1 surprise song. And then for the piano, I would have done 15. I love that song, and she did that night, Nashville night 1, I think. And I think that would have been so good to hear live. It's an incredible song. I love 15, always. And then we have Midnight. Meet Me at Midnight. I would have done Lavender Haze because it starts out perfect. Meet Me at Midnight. Like that deserves to start the Midnight era. And when she comes out in the like sparkly dress, that is like an amazing part. And then after that, Anti-Hero, because we're all the problem. So we all need to yell, "It's me, hi, I'm the problem, Taylor." It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. And like, Taylor, you'll be fine. So I think Anti-Hero, like actually that might be like, that's one of my top 3 off Midnights. I'm obsessed with Anti-Hero. And I listen to that song all the time. Like even when I hear it on the radio, like, and I play it too, it's never a skip. I love that song. And then I would have done Snow on the Beach because that song's so good. I feel like it deserves more recognition than it got. When I heard that in The Summer I Turned Pretty, I was on the floor. That of the Eras Tour would have been amazing. So I would think it would. And then obviously one of the best on Midnights. Why Are We Making the Friendship Bracelets? You're on Your Own, Kid. That totally should have been on there. Like, You're on Your Own, Kid should have been on the set list. I don't know why it wasn't. Because, like, that song is so good. I feel like it's one of her most relatable songs ever. So I totally would have had that. It would have been so good. And then I would have done Bejeweled, because the background when she does Bejeweled, it's all bejeweled. It's beautiful. And then, like, actually that one too. And her glittery, like, that Bejeweled is such a vibe. Best way I'm still bejeweled. Like, we all need that in our lives. And then I wouldn't have done, like, as long for Midnights as some of the other albums. I would have, like, increased some of them. So then I would have ended with Karma, because Karma's amazing. She puts on the glittery jacket. Like, it's so pretty. I love it. I have so many good pictures from that. And the confetti falls. That's a great moment. So Karma is a great one to end with. Like, Karma is a cat. Karma is my boyfriend. Like, Karma is ending the show. And that was an incredible ending to the show. And I loved that. And honestly, I think Taylor did this set list like no other. I think, like, having 3.5 hours to perform, it was probably a struggle to come up with all these different songs. Like, I wrote all this, and this took me a long time. And she just started from scratch. Like, what song does she want to do? What songs do the fans like? Like, I feel like there's a lot to think about here. And then also, like, what things does she want to do? Like, the audience made up some of the chants. Like, she did the hand heart. Like, want to go back to high school with me. Like, she didn't think a lot of this out. Like, the man speech. So I think it definitely, like, took a lot of work to come up with this Eras Tour set list. And I love it, like, just how it is. I think it's incredible. I'm so grateful I got to see all those songs that I saw live. But if I change a couple, these are how I would change it. And if you watched this far, I hope you like this video. And I want to see what your ideal Eras Tour set lists are down below. So comment down below. And I hope you like this video. And I hope you subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'm Erica, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I was on the floor. I'm drunk in the back of the car, and I was basically down. It's done. I don't know what I was doing during that. I had the time of my life, so it doesn't count.